Hey everybody, this is Mary. This is Making is the Point. For those of you who are new, I've called the channel that because it's all about art for the sake of art. I think there's a lot to be said for the process of knitting and making and spinning and all of that. FOs are fun, but there's something really awesome about this whole community and everything involved with it. So thanks for coming by. Like, subscribe, all the things. And I also started this because I watch so many knitting podcasts that I'm always talking back to all you folks. So I thought, well, let me just record my thoughts. Also, I was laid off and I have a lot of time in between looking for a new job. So with that, I am wearing a recent FO, which is the Winter's Pullover by Ozetta, which I made out of Knitting for Olive, heavy merino in rainy day. And I love it. It's perfectly oversized for what I was going for. She's going to be great in the season where I actually want to wear her. The sleeve, maybe this one's easier. Oh, remember this dance move? Perfect length. It was a little short before I blocked it, and she blocked out great. So it's nice because it's been warm out in Chicago, so I was able to wet block it, and then put it outside, and it dried it in a couple hours. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna take this off because I actually have my real outfit for the day on under it, and it's really hot in here. Okay, I'm back. This is what I'm wearing is the Milkweed sweater by Jamie Hoffman. I made this a few years ago out of Farmer's Daughter Soka'pii in Eagle Eye and Natural. And it's a single ply, really rustic but soft. It's super soft to wear, not itchy at all. And lightweight. I love it. I think the pattern's really fun. And yeah, it's great. Good color. I like it. So that's that. My other FO as of late is the Shift cowl that I made out of, we'll just chuck it right on, out of handspun. So I took, let's see, how does this work? It works however you want it to work. I like this pink thing on the side. I did all hand spun, 3 different, what do you call, yarns that I made with all 3 Waters Farm. I'm in their monthly fiber club and I had a bunch of it. And so I just used 3 different ones, but they all kind of, start to blend together nicely. And I was recently on vacation with a friend in Oaxaca, which I'll talk about a little more later. It's amazing. You should go there. And I started this and worked on it a lot when I was on vacation. So yeah, I love it. But again, it's hot in here, so, or outside today, so I'm going to take it off. But here is the close-up. It's real pretty. I like the bright yellow, pinks. It's giving a little bit of, Monet water lilies, especially down here. Oh, no, down here is what I meant. Yeah. So I like it. So that is an FO. Do I have any others? Oh, I have like half an FO. One sock. It's called Crunching Carrots. And did I write down Stone Knits is the designer? I mean, are you kidding me with this? Isn't that so freaking cute? My friend Caitlin and I got the yarn last year at YarnCon. She had found the pattern, so picked out yarn for it, and it's kind of perfect. And I was going to YarnCon this year, and I thought, I'm going to cast that on before I go, so it's not a whole year. So it was about 364 days. So then I got really into it. I'm not much of a sock knitter, but I got super into this one, so got to do the other one, though I probably won't be wearing them anytime soon because this was pretty warm. But I think it is so cute. And it is making me more into socks because I think I've figured out my recipe a little more. I'm a loose knitter, so 0 needles for me, and a 9-inch circular is my preferred method. So yeah, I like this gusset type heel. So yeah, maybe more socks in my future, but this is just too freaking cute. And the pattern said to go up a needle size for the color work, which I did, and then back down to 0. I don't think I needed to go up a needle size for the color work. It's a little loosey-goosey here. I don't think I needed to do that. So next, I'm going to do the second one the same way I did this one, but I think in the future I can just stick to my 0s. Yeah, so there she is. Gonna work on the second. Otherwise, I'm liable to leave it for years. So I'm going to get right to it. Then as for whips, I finished the body of the book club. So she's looking good. I think she's looking good. And so it's getting a little washed out in the light, but I love it. Again, this is in, what is it, Hudson and West, Forge, the color Camel. They no longer make this yarn, unfortunately, but it's beautiful. And I am going to just set this aside in my little project bag until September and work on the sleeves then, because in the Laura Allison party, of which I am a part and I've talked about a lot, you should join. Side note on that. Sleeve-tember is September, and we all work on sleeves, and there's fabulous prizes if you finish sleeves, and it's real fun. So I'm not going to wear this over the summer anyway, so I'm just going to leave this till sleeve-tember so I have some sleeves to work on. Okay, then another whip I have, it's in the same category as the book club, and then I'm going to finish the body and then put it aside till September, is the Inge by Lynette. This is the class I was taking with Laura McDougall. And yeah, I just have to do the ribbing. Finished the body. I tried it on this morning and it fits nicely. It's a little less ease than I was originally going for, but I like it actually. Not everything needs a million inches beads, as it turns out. And I think once I block it, it'll get a little bigger, but yeah, it fits well. And I love it. Look at that. So this is in Gilliatt is the main color, natural. And then that's to Rerum Natura. And then the blue is Fonty in teal heather. And then the yellow is Ewetopia Ridge Sport in summertime heather. So yeah, that is my Inge. And I like the collar. I wasn't sure at first, but now, like, especially after trying it on that I have a full body, the collar lays nicely. So the thing with this collar, and it's a little weird, like in the class we've been talking about it, because it's weird as you're making it. You're like, this thing is giant. But this part of the collar is actually like the neck shoulders a little bit. So it's not just all collar. So it kind of like fits like this, and then this doesn't go up like too high. I thought maybe at first it was going to be too high and I would have to rip out, but I like it now. So yeah, that's this guy. Let's see what else. What else? I was like, isn't there something else? Oh, you guys. The Pee-wee sweater. I forgot about it because I worked on it a bunch before I went on vacation and haven't touched it. But so I forgot all this crazy stuff I was doing to it. So I have finished the body and I have one weird sleeve. So I'm almost done actually-ish. Just have to do the other sleeve. I don't know how I feel about the sleeve, but I think I'm just going to leave it because like this thing's crazy. So what I did was I had those dinos at the top. I tried it on. And then I put the snakes at the bottom. I didn't love the snakes. So I tried it on because it was the right length, and the top just was like a weird fit because I started on a smaller needle size and it was just too much. I don't know what was happening. So I wound up just picking up stitches under the dino. So the dino's now just flapped in there. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'll figure that out. But so then I picked up stitches. So now it just starts. And then I picked up stitches, added the collar. And now it just starts with Pee-wee, which kind of makes more sense anyway, you know. He's the reason for the season. So Yeah, and then the bottom, I added the dinos to the bottom. I feel like I need to duplicate stitch like a eye color or maybe a little red for a heart in that white space there in the middle. But the length is good. And then I didn't want to do these doodles and color work on the sleeves. So I just did this little motif, a stripe of each color, little motif. So it ends like right here, which I'm fine with that. It's a pretty lightweight sweater, even with the color work. So I felt like that made sense to do 3/4 length and just, I don't know, this might grow on me. I like the colors a lot, and we'll see with the other ones there. I don't know. I was thinking, would it make sense to have smaller stripes? But does it matter? How often am I going to wear this freaking thing? If this isn't making is the point, classic case. It was fun to design and make. I'm not sure this is going to be a staple in my wardrobe, so maybe I shouldn't overthink the sleeves. So I'm just going to do the other one like that. Put it on for a hilarious laugh here and there and see what happens. So yeah, that's coming right along. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that dino inside the collar, though. You've got dino on the collar. That was Ring Around the Collar. Isn't this great? Does anyone remember that guy in the commercial? It seems like we solved that problem, and I haven't heard about it in a while. Okay. So I just have a recent cast on in this cute bag I got in Oaxaca. You guys, weaving in Oaxaca. They're into it. They're great at it. It's really cool. So, yeah, got this little bag and put my latest project in there. And I have not much to show, so it's not that exciting. But I'm making the Rocket Tee. Rock It Tee. 2 words. I got this yarn at YarnCon. I went to YarnCon in Chicago this weekend, which was fun. It's a little overwhelming, to be honest. Try not to buy a lot of stuff, and then you walk in there and you're like, I had a little list though. So I wanted a cotton blend or linen blend for a summer tee, and that's what I got. I got this at Apothecary. They now have a website. I've been to their booth at YarnCon before. They're awesome. They have beautiful stuff. No, I lied. I got something else from Apothecary. I got this from Acorn and Oak Fibers, which used to be Why Not Fibers. They became Acorn and Oak, and they also bought the equipment from the place that made Shepherd's Wool, Stonehenge, no, Stone Mill, Stoners RS. Anyway, they bought that, and so they're gonna use that. That's exciting. So the Rocket Tee, this stuff is really nice. It is. Let me read the stats. Superwash, yak, and linen. So it's called Sumptuous. 437 yards a skein. So a little pricey, but you get quite a bit. So I only needed 1 skein of each for my little tee. So far, this is what I got. It's not a lot, but it's like a rose gold and this pretty blue color. So yeah, it's a V-neck stripy number, and I think it'll be great. From Apothecary, I bought a linen blend that I was going to use with something else, blah, 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 but I just decided I'm going to make an outline tee with that. That's, yeah, I think that'll be good. I have an outline tank, but I want to make the t-shirt. That's fun, where you drop down that stitch and it looks cool and it's very comfy. So that's what I'm going to do with that. Speaking of weaving, so Oaxaca. My friend Kristen and I, also a knitter and all things fiber enthusiast, went to Oaxaca. She's a teacher, was on spring break. I'm unemployed, so I'm always up for an adventure. So it was fantastic. Obviously, their food is amazing. Mole upon mole, my fave. And then they are really into a lot of arts and fiber arts, weaving specifically. So we did a tour one day of this awesome woman's setup, and she showed us how she dyes yarns with natural dyes and how she cleans the yarn and everything, or the fiber, sorry. And then she showed us her weaving. She had looms that were, I don't know, like it was like the equivalent of like 10 feet or something. It was crazy. And then so we got to try our hand at weaving, and I made this. It's like a third grade project, but I was pretty happy with it. My first try, not bad. I mean, for some example, I got this little table runner that she made, and it's like slightly better than my project. But plus that she also made this, which it's pretty nice. But it was really fun. Yeah, so that was great. I recommend Oaxaca. We did an amazing hike in the Sierra Norte mountains, and we did a street food tour, which was awesome. The tour guide was so great. She brought us all over the place, and we ate at markets and street vendors and all kinds of different cool food. And it's beautiful, and everyone's super kind. And yeah, I recommend. I love Mexico. I just kind of I want to go to Mexico City. I've never been. So that's that. So another thing I got at YarnCon was fiber from Inclement Fine Craft, or Fibers and Craft. They are an awesome place in Chicago, and if you should follow them on Instagram, because they are a lot of awesome videos. They are working on starting the first fiber mill in Chicago in over 100 years, and my chat with them, it sounds like it's going well, which is very exciting. So they have beautiful fiber. So I bought this 2 bats of it, and I started spinning it up. Where's the paper? I don't know. So I have just one of these so far. I'm just going to apply it with itself, and then maybe make a little, that's means kerchief. Because in the Laura Allison party in June, we're having a little jaunty June where we're making different kerchiefs. So there's like some real cute ones with like lacy little patterns that I may make one of those out of this stuff because it's so pretty and there's silk in it and it's just beautiful. So if you go to their Instagram, you could see they have a storefront and you can see when they're open, or they also will gladly ship. So this is beautiful and I recommend it. And I'm excited for my little kerchief. In other spinning news, Rose, it's going to be fine. I made a little YouTube short with the process of making a bunch of nests to spin for a sweater. Because here's what happened. I'm in the Nest Fiber Club monthly club. And there's several months in a row where I got like pink, purple, bright rainbow stuff from them. It's pretty, but I was like, it's not totally my style, and it seems like a lot of like similar colors. So then I was like, well, maybe I should just make a sweater. Not my style, rainbow clown. Let's make a sweater. So I took it all, and I think there was 5 braids of that. And then I also had some extras from the Nest Advent that had like pinks and stuff. There was like 1 ounce strips. So I added a couple of those. And then I also had from Yarn Jam a solid goldish and then a stripy goldish. Added that to maybe ground it in a yellowy gold. And I ordered, which I have not received yet, one that's more off-white cream that has some like pink and yellow tweedy speckles. So my plan is to do that off-white, just a straight ply of that, and then 2 plies of this other stuff. So I did a bunch of research online, and also I should shout out Piece for Piece here on YouTube. Michael, he just had a really cool video where he had over time, like the course of a year, showed what he was working on in terms of a sweater spin. And I pretty much repeated what he did, but then I went down a rabbit hole, and a lot of people have done the same method, which is to split each braid by length in four, and then take those fourths and split them into 4 strips. So you have 16 strips per braid, and then you have 16 times however many braids you have. Then you just lay them out and pick them up randomly, twist them up into nests so that everything's kind of cohesive and it's not just like too much of this braid over here and too little. So now I have these nests, and see, this is the solid one I had. So this will hopefully chill things out a little more. Oh, this got a little kooky. So yeah, they're all, they're nesting. So I'm going to do 2 plies of whatever I get from all this, and then 1 ply of the cream-ish one I'm getting. So then, and I'm going to make the Traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry. So that's my plan. Each one of these, I'm just going to grab one and then spin from end to end. See what happens. It's very exciting. I'm kind of excited about it. Literal mic drop. I bet you can't handle that mic drop moment. Got a hair in my mouth, or fiber, one or the other. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, there's that. What else? Oh, you guys, I ordered a fleece on the internet from some woman in New Hampshire. Sophia is the sheep. She's a Finn sheep. She was just sheared. She's dirty, but fine as wine. And I'm going to figure out how to clean her and card her and do all the things. Got my unicorn scour power. Got myself a drum carder. And here we go. Yeah. So I'm excited. That should be coming in the next day or so. So maybe this weekend I'll start scouring. And I'm going to have some pals over and we'll just see what happens. And then, I'll make a sweater out of that eventually. The price was right. And I was like, well, let's just see. Let's see what I can do with it. For those that are interested, there's a Facebook group of people just selling raw wool for very affordable prices. There's a lot of people out there selling their raw wool. It's kind of dangerous. I think Rosie will be very excited to have a sheep in the garage. Yeah, so that's that. Okay, in various media news, I've been reading a lot, you guys. I read The Correspondent, which was taking the world by storm. 2 of my nieces and I read it, and it was great. Virginia Evans. I really liked it. At first, I thought, where is this going? What is the point? Why does everyone love this book? And then it just drew me right in. Yeah, the main character is a woman that writes a lot of letters. That's been her thing for her whole life, and that's the way the book is laid out. It's all letters, and I just really found it to be heartwarming, delightful, funny, and it makes me want to write letters. Again, a friend and I were talking about how when we were in college, we wrote each other real letters and still have them, and it's very fun to have those things. So yeah, Correspondent. I recommend. It's worth the hype, I think. Owls of the Eastern Ice. Is that what it's called? My friend Jen recommended this one. It's not my normal go-to. Jonathan Slade, S-L-A-G-H-T. It's, Jonathan is a cool guy. He did all this research on fish owls in Russia, remote Russia. And so it's the story of his years of field work studying these owls that there was not much research done on them, and trying to track them and tag them and study them so they could put together a conservation plan to save these owls. And it is rough doing this type of field work in the winters of remote Russia. So it was a page turner, and I thought it was really interesting. And now I'm reading Lost Lambs by Madeline Cash. My niece Megan recommended this one, and it's cracking me up. It's another new book. It just follows this wacky little family, and every single one of them is unique. And I just, the sense of humor aligns with my own very well. So I'm really enjoying it. It's wacky though. In a good way, I think, but some people might be like, this is too ridiculous. Yeah, so those are my books. Then we're going to start Country and Midwestern. That's for my Guitar Friends book group. I haven't cracked that open, but I have it from the library, so I need to get into that one. And The Great Believers is my other book group. I read that a while ago, so by Rebecca Mackay. I have been re-listening on audiobook to try and refresh my memory. I really like that book. It's two stories going on at once. One is Chicago in the 80s in Boys Town during the AIDS crisis, and the other is a woman in 2015 Paris trying to track down her daughter who has joined a cult, and the two stories are connected in some way. So yeah, I like stories like that where they can pull off two things well. So either chapters go back and forth between the 80s and 2015. Really like it. And then our next book club pick is The Names, and I need to track that down and read it. So that's exciting. TV. My latest, which I recommend, documentary on Netflix, Trust Me, The False Prophet. This is about this cool woman, Christine, who had a traumatic history in a cult situation. And she has basically gone undercover in an FLDS community to try and take down Samuel Bateman, who is basically the replacement in this community for after Warren Jeffs was put in prison for life. So they've sort of turned to this dude as a prophet, and he is terrible. I mean, that is an understatement. So it's just following this woman and other women in this community that they highlight that are so awesome. It's really dark at times, but satisfying. Because spoiler alert, it's just satisfying. So I recommend. I think it's well done. And then speaking of well done, Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Caught myself up on the 3 episodes that are out. I can't tell who's who because they all kind of look the same, but I love it so far. I do know one person, and that's Liz, because you know who Liz is by the woman that is so obviously high in all of her confessionals. Her and her husband run a dispensary, and you can tell. And it's great because she is just chill as they come, but also hilarious. And what I also love is the women talking about Rhode Island. Like it's homogeneous, like in Rhode Island. Like, I feel like there's more than one way to think and behave in Rhode Island. And B, like it is the wildest place in the United States of America. Well, we do things differently here in Rhode Island. It's like the meme of like the restaurant that says like, well, we do things a little differently here. We serve family style. It's like, it's not that different. Okay. So things get crazy in the suburbs of Providence, Rhode Island, apparently. They are a little nuts. But yeah, so that's nice. And I don't know if I'm watching any real shows. I haven't really watched that much TV lately. So, Okay, I just scanned all my stuff because I got crap everywhere around here. And I think that's it. that's enough for today. I will just see what happens when my fleece arrives. I'm looking forward to meeting Sophia's fur and work on my little spins and my projects. And yeah, check in with all of you soon. And in the meantime, like, subscribe, all the things. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. Have a great week and talk to you soon. Bye.